This episode is very controversial, but it talks about sensuality and sexuality going hand in hand. So are you curious? I'm curious because sometimes when I listen and I edit my podcast, I can't remember in that overshadowing from the other realms and from my higher self what I have talked about. So I'm being inspired and being taught as well in my own podcasts about self-empowerment and sensuality. Hi, this is Ash from the closet, and I want to talk about self-empowerment and sensuality in this episode. That might be just a tiny bit connected to hashtag 34 and 35 with the meditation also about your sexual energy. Of course, there's a connection because how can I just let go of that episode and just continue talking about deceased people or paranormal experiences and whatever comes to my mind? No, I still want to talk about sex. Yeah. I still want to talk about the sensuality and the sexuality. You might think, what is the difference? I'm not an expert and I'm not going to look it up because I want to give inspiration to you from my authentic self. I know that we are sensual beings, and that means we have sensuality, and that means we have senses. Senses. Oh my goodness, yeah, senses. Let's sense here. No. I'm not talking about the 5 senses that we already know about. I'm talking about the 6th sense. I'm talking about the natural 6th sense that we have. We can call it our intuition because that goes hand in hand with sensuality. Sensing. And we can sense on our body, like we can sense things. When it's not like direct touches, we can sense. And that sounds very sensual or very, it sounds very good, doesn't it? Sense. I don't have a word for it. A little bit blissful, maybe, like, oh yeah, I can sense that. But how do we sense? We do that from the 6th sense. Our intuition, our clairvoyance, yeah. We see things, or we hear things, or we smell things that are not in our direct view. It's like it's on another level, and it's like it's on another reality. And now I'm getting a little long-haired here. I can sense that. I can sense with my intuition. I can sense that what I want to talk about with sensuality and sex is very controversial because it also goes hand in hand with sexuality, but not really taught to you. No. If you are one of the lucky ones who were taught about sex in school or by parents or by bigger siblings or friends or whoever taught you about sex and sexuality, they rarely mentioned sensuality hand in hand with sexuality. When I talk about that, I need to be a little tantric. I need to be a little aware and be a little more present. I mean, everybody can have sex and just be not sensual. Sex without sensuality, that's the porn industry. Unless they know how to work with the actors, so you get a little bit sense of sensuality. And that takes chemistry. You cannot use two actors in a porn movie or porn sequence who doesn't have chemistry and create sensuality. Because it's on another level. Sensuality. It's on another level. Okay, I think you get me now, don't you? We are actually talking about sex on another level. So the sensuality, and I'm not going to go into the creativity in the sensuality because it's also a creative side and it's also a very intuitive side where it's connected to other dimensions, other universes, and it's connected to the big source like God. I'm not going to go into that in this episode. I want to go into the sexuality part, the sex part, because we can have sex and be sexual beings with our sensuality. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how does that work? It only works if we are connected to the actual event, actual intercourse, we can say. And it works better if we are actually also connected to the person we are having a sexual experience with. Through eye gazing, through touches of the skin, slow movements, everything in slow motion, touching, smelling, sensing the other person, listening to their breathing, and breathing together in and out at the same time. Like one organism instead of two people having sex. One organism, that's the whole difference. So sensuality in a sexual relation is also about connecting to the intuition. So you know by intuition and by sensing where to touch, how to breathe, how to be, how to act, how to enjoy and indulge, but in a natural state where you don't have to think about it, but you go into a sensual state where you use your intuition. You don't think, now I'm going to use my intuition. No, you have to become that state of sensuality. And how? How do you become that state of sensuality where you sense to indulge and to have pleasure? Without the pleasure just being body moves, rubbing against each other, penetrating, licking, touching, moving about. But where it's on another level, where you are doing everything I just mentioned, but you make it slower. And how? Slower. So the actual intercourse lasts between 2 and 4 hours. Because your aim is not to release. Your aim is to enjoy and to indulge. Yeah, that's your aim. To sense and enjoy and be in the moment, in the connection to the other person. Eye gazing, sniffing, smelling, slow, sensible touchings, very slow. Pulling a little bit, pushing a little bit, but still staying in the sensuality, where it's all about connection. Did I lose you here, or do you actually sense what I'm talking about? It's all about connection. Is that how you create your sexual encounters? Is that how you have your sexuality experienced in intercourses or in relations with other people when you are having sex? Or is it just all masculine? The sensuality is connected to yin, our chi, life energy, yin, where it is the feminine part that's counting here, that's living here, that's acting out here, that's exploring and experiencing here. The feminine side of us. And that's not woman or man. It's got nothing to do with that. It's the feminine, it's the yin in our life energy, the sensuality. It's so beautiful. It's freaking beautiful when it happens. It's all about connection. And you lose track of time. But let's say the ones who knows what I'm talking about and they're acting in a tantric way, you can say that, they're already doing it. They can still listen or just, be inspired. But mostly I want to talk to the ones who don't really know what I'm talking about, who has a sense of what I'm talking about, but are more masculine in their sexual behaviors. Yeah, I'm a trained sex therapist. And I remember when I went to school and I was doing my education, I remember the teacher saying, yeah, we can all just be together in a sexual relation and masturbate together. That's the normal thing to do. I do you and you do me. Or you do you and I do you and we help each other. And we get a release. That can take about, anything from 2 minutes to 30 minutes. Or maybe a little bit longer if you kiss and have little water breaks or toilet breaks. I don't know. It's very quick. And it has nothing to do with sensuality. That's the masculine way of having sex. And you don't want to be with a partner you like or love or are interested in and just masturbate together? I'll help you. So you come and then you'll help me and I'll come. That's really the bare minimum of good sex. I mean, that's just like, yeah, I can have an orgasm and so can you, and then we can sleep again. Hello? That maybe is the normal thing to do for a lot of people. But hear me out. That's really the bare minimum of good sex. Oh my goodness, there are so much more to the sexual encounters and acts and experiences than that. That can be a little part of it. It's perfectly fine. But as a woman, it's not about releasing. No, it's not about releasing. It's about the build-up, using the breath, squeezing the vagina and moving the body, breathing in and out and connecting to the partner, looking at them, touching them, sensing them, being like one organism instead of two. That build-up creates a better release, a better orgasm. Yeah, it's common sense. But hey, a lot of us has forgotten about it. We haven't been taught that sensuality is connected to sexuality. And we haven't been taught, like I talked in the previous episodes, about how to touch yourself. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so frustrating. So let's get started. And once we open up that sexual part of us again, that wild power, these waves in the ocean that are so unpredictable, they are so powerful. That's where all the multi-orgasms are hiding. Yeah, that's where all the multi-orgasms are hiding. That's where the connection to the goddess energy is, to the higher self, where we will be the powerful goddesses we are. Wake up! Hear me out. Don't cut off. Please don't shut down. Don't shut that sexuality down. Don't do it. Don't become a zombie. Don't shut it down. It is your life force. That's where your fortune is hiding. That's where everything is hiding that you can manifest. Go to that frequency. Be that sexual being. Be sexual active. Touch yourself. Explore yourself. And open up that sea of energy. Open it up and you will see magic. Because that's a whole other frequency. You will vibrate in a higher frequency. You will attract like. The law of attraction will work beautifully here. You will even get more sex, more money if you like, more whatever you like. If it's not money you're aiming for, it's just happiness. You will get more happiness. Sensuality in connection with sexuality opens up the front door after orgasm number 1. Listen to my previous podcast, not the meditation here. Yeah, you can listen to that too, but the previous podcast about sexual energy. Orgasm number 1 is opening up the front door only. It's just pushing down the handle. We are women, and women are multi-orgasmic beings. Yeah, multi-orgasmic beings. We like number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, maybe 1 or 2 or 4 more. But we like anything between 3 to 6. That's the best ones. And they can come in a row where you scream them out and they open up your pineal gland. That's the entrance to your higher self, your intuition. Yeah, your intuition. The orgasms opens up your intuition. So if you have a strong intuition, why don't you want to improve it and be even stronger, more intuitive? And all the pleasure that comes with it. Who wants to be without that? The best sex is when there is a connection and when you use your sensuality. And if you have forgotten, you have to listen to this episode again, what sensuality is. And I left out the creative side of it and the clairvoyant side of it. I just focused on the sexual part. Because honestly, it is time. This is a new era. This is a new world. And all we have that cannot be AI manufactured is our sensuality. I might be 10 years ahead of that sentence, but that's the truth. We have to connect to another human being with eye gazing and our mirror neurons being activated in the soul connection and the creation of our love chemistry in the body, oxytocin. That can be created with AI one day, I know that. But being with another warm person, a human being like you, who you are connecting to. That should be your aim number one. Before porn, before masturbation, but on the way to meeting that person, or maybe at the same time as you have that person, explore yourself. My friend, explore yourself. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Your way, your gateway to heaven. It's so simple. So maybe you want to listen to this episode one more time just to be sure of what I'm talking about. And if you don't, go to my website and write me. Write me questions. Talk to me about what you want me to talk about. Because I just inspire you. That's why I'm here. I want to inspire. Everything I talk about is from my own life experience. I walk the talk. So wake up with me. Wake up, my darling, wake up.